Hey guys, I had a few questions about what my plotting procedure was with all the cards on my floor. And instead of typing it all out, explaining what I was doing, I thought I would just do a quick video because I'm lazy. So, what that is, and you can still see it back here where a dining room table should go, is I am writing kind of a different story this time. And first of all, for every book, I plot it different every stinking time. And it's super inconvenient. So I don't really have a method for every book that's faithful for me. But you know what? Maybe by the 50th book, I'll get there. So anyway, for this book, has a mystery element. So it's important that 100% of the book is not a mystery to me, which is my usual MO. So what I have done is I have note cards and I have just written down any detail I can think of. And so sometimes people do note cards by chapter, and I'll do that sometimes too. I'll do one note card for every chapter, and I'll write down on that note card, here's like my chapter 4, and I'll write down everything that I know that's going to happen or could happen in that chapter, including some dialogue that I must use or a word I must use. So I do that a lot, and almost for every book. I'm not consistent. I may just do it for part of a book, but I try to do that. And it also because I know that most of my books are about 35 chapters, give or take 5 depending on my word count, so I can lay that out and have a visual. You could also do that on Scrivener. Scrivener will give you digital note cards. I can't do that. I have to see them and move them around and roll around on the floor with them, eat snacks over them, spend time with them, whatever. So I haven't done so far taking it to the step of each card as a chapter. What I have done to just gather my ideas was to make a card for every single idea or action sequence I had. So, for example, this card says Paisley thinks someone is in her home. So I don't know how many I have, maybe 30 to 40 cards, probably 40 to 50 cards. She and Jack fish at night. Aw, if you gotta go fishing, I guess at night, bring some good snacks, Jack. And so I write out any idea that I have, even if it's a bad one, and then I will put them in order. I'll arrange them. So then I have kind of a deck of cards, and that's building my story. So I don't have to think about this stress of what's going to happen in chapter 30 when I'm on chapter 5 only, because I'm just focusing on what my next few cards say. And then when I think of something along the way, I'll just stick that in my pack of cards. So some other things that I do is I usually have one of those cheap one subject notebooks from Walmart or wherever. And when I moved recently, we found out that I'm a notebook hoarder, because I have about 75 of them that have not been used. So if you need to borrow one, I got 10 or 20 you can have. And what I'll do is, and I got this tip from Kristen Billerbeck over 10 years ago when I went to my first writing conference. I remember she said that before she writes a chapter, she'll sketch out some ideas for it. Maybe it's just a half a page. And when I do that, the writing goes so much faster. And when I don't do that, there is just a whole lot of staring at the keyboard and diverting oneself to Facebook and making videos about plotting. So some other things that you could do is, of course, you could do your major plot points, your opening sequence, your 10%, your 25%, your 50, your halfway mark, what happens at the 75%, the 90, etc. And if that doesn't ring a bell, then you need to Google Heroes to Journeys, Michael Hague, Hague, I think. Really good speaker if you can ever get to see him. And another thing is the Save the Cat method. This is the screenwriter's method, but I use it to some degree in every book. As my family was helping me move, they saw the Save the Cat book, and they were like, "Oh, so now you're reading books about cats. We're not worried about you at all." And I was like, "That's a writing book, mostly." And you could also definitely, for every single book, look up GMC, goal, motivation, conflict, and there are lots of handouts on that, and see if you can fill some of those in. If you can't figure out your character's goals, motivation, some conflict, then probably not totally ready to start your story or to finish it maybe. And something else that helped, a tip I got from a Writer's Digest, was to plot it to the halfway point. So you only plot it to the 50% point. So you can do your note cards and you just have to do half of them, because you only have the pressure of half the book. And if you can get to the halfway point, the second half, I feel, is the downhill slope, and it's so much easier. Did I mention I dressed up for you guys today? Got on my finest jersey wear. And another really good book on plotting is Take Off Your Pants. I don't know that you're going to see this backwards or not, but outline your books for faster, better writing. And this is by Libby Hawker. And so this is also a book to take with you for social situations that you want to make awkward. You know, just hold it here, and so they see your title, and take off your pants. And then, of course, I have a ton of these, but here's Outlining Your Novel, K.M. Weiland. She has a podcast you might want to check out. So that's my method for the current book that's hopefully going to be out this fall, but someone needs to write it. And so just using some super cheap note cards and filling in as much information as I know, and then putting them in order. So if you have any other plot questions, just let me know, and I might put makeup on and answer them.